Now today we're going to be talking about what is essentially my recommendation this month for your retro gaming needs. We're going to be doing this once a month just to sort of put a spotlight on games of the past. Now our first recommendation is going to be Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar. To say Ultima 4 has no story is, frankly, completely correct. There is no overarching plot. There's no villain.
No colors, no flavors, no junky stuff.
The only basis of it is for you, the character, to ascend to the throne of the Avatar. You see, in order to understand this, let's go back and do some history. Ultima 1, 2, and 3 saw you take on the villains Mondain, Minax, and Exodus, each of these being a more powerful representation of evil to the people of Caesarea. Over time, you sort of gained the reputation of being a hero, and so in Ultima 4, the land has now been united under the rule of Lord British and been renamed Britannia. Lord British has come up with his own philosophy, the 8 virtues as they're called, and he has determined that whoever can master the 8 virtues, descend into the abyss to find the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, and return alive shall be named the Avatar. And that's the game. Master the 8 virtues, go and get the Codex, become the Avatar. That's it. It's one of the first games I can honestly say is a true role-playing experience, because you can't just go somewhere, grind out levels, and beat the game. You have to master each virtue one at a time, and some of them can be indeed quite tricky. And what makes the game great, at least in my own opinion, is just how many ways you have to play it. If you're worried about whether or not you're going to like it, you can actually play the SNES port for free and give it a test run. If you like that, I have no doubt you'll be wanting to get the PC version because, no offense to the port, but the PC definitely has superior controls. Now granted, there are some drawbacks particularly modern gamers may run into. For example, there's no such thing as a quest journal. If you want to know what you've done and what you haven't, you'll need to write it down yourself. But in a sense, that's part of the fun. The entire point of the Ultima series is making you feel like the hero, even right down to the hero being someone who comes from Earth. The entire story behind it is that you're just some random guy selected to go to Britannia and become their savior. That is literally the point. Now, in my own personal opinion, this is the best in the Ultima series. Not just because it allows you to ascend to the throne of the Avatar, but because this is one of the last games in the series where the story does not get so bizarre and become so filled with plot holes it makes you want to start beating your head with a fucking brick.
For example, the Guardian has set up these magic generator devices around the world to disrupt the ether, screw up the moon gates, and brainwash the weak-minded. But to destroy them, you first need to contact the Time Lord. No, not that one. But let's just take this one step as an example. You have to contact the Time Lord so he can tell you how to destroy the generators, but you don't know where he is. First, you have to play the game with Chuckles, who tells you to talk to a fortune teller. The fortune teller tells you to ask the Wisps, who are extra-dimensional beings who know where the Time Lord is. But you can't talk to the Wisps because they only communicate with a woodland race of Ewoks known as the Emps. But the Ewoks won't talk to you until you give them honey, which is their favorite food. And the only way you can get honey is to go to the Cave of Giant Bees past the nudist colony. To get past the bees, you need smoke bombs from a local hunter. You use the smoke bombs to get the honey, you give the honey to the Ewoks, but they still won't help you contact the Wisps until you get permission from their leader. And their leader won't give you permission until you convince a nearby group of loggers to stop cutting down the silverleaf trees. So you stop the loggers, the give you a whistle to talk to the Wisps. So you find the Wisp, blow the whistle, and talk to the Wisp, but the Wisp won't tell you where the Time Lord is for free. You have to trade him a notebook of a famous Britannian sage named Alagnar. Alagnar won't give you his notebook until you can tell him the answer to life, the universe, and everything, which you can only find out from a guy named Cain in Skara Brae. But Skara Brae was wiped out by a lich and is also turned into a land of the walking dead. So to talk to anyone who's dead, you need the seance spell. The island is also conveniently surrounded by giant white monoliths of rock, and there's no place to land your carpet, so you have to go on foot and pay the undead ferryman. Only a ghost named Cain knows the answer to your question, but he won't talk talk to you until you destroy the Lich. The only way to destroy the Lich is to imprison the magic cage and dump a special magic potion on it. But to get the cage, you need to convince the ghostly blacksmith to finish making it. To do that, you need to find his wife's ring. She only gives you the ring when you play your music box. When you give the smith the ring, he agrees to make the cage, but first he needs an iron rod. So you give him a rod, he gives you the cage, but now you have to enchant it. To enchant the cage, you need to make a special alchemy potion. Put the Lich in the magic cage, dump the magic potion on him, and kill the Lich. But then you need to find someone willing to sacrifice themselves to destroy the Lich's well of souls, forcing you to talk to everyone on the island. And finally, Cain tells you there are no answers to life and death. You tell Lagner this, who says you can have his notebook. Actually, he says you can have the key to his warehouse, which has the notebook in it, which of course is a labyrinth full of bullshit teleporters and secret doors. You find the notebook, give it to the wisp, who tell you to reach the Time Lord. You have to drop your orb of the moons one step to the northwest, but you don't have an orb of the moon, so you have to talk to Lord Bridges, who gives you a spare.
Now that's it. Let me give you a little bit of background into the Ultima series for those who do not know. The Ultima series is the brainchild of Richard Garriott, who actually based the first 2 installments on his own Dungeons & Dragons campaign. It takes things from Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, and pretty much anything that had a fandom in the 70s and 80s, and mashes them into a blender and hits epic. Over the course of the series, you'll even find crossover references to the Wing Commander series, which also, if you don't know, is an excellent gaming franchise you should check out, but not the point of this video. Now, the answer to the question we're going to be asking of all of our old games is where can you get it and how much is it? And the answer is the game is free right now on goodoldgames.com, or if you wish to check out the entire Ultima series, you can buy all of them for $29.99. I highly recommend it to anyone who loves old school RPGs. However, fair warning, if you're the kind of gamer who doesn't particularly get into, quote, role-playing, and just wants to find the little marker and beat the shit out of something, this is not going to be the game for you. This, my friends, is a thinking man's RPG. Well, or thinking woman, I suppose, RPG. Thinking person's RPG. We'll go with that one. Now, until next week, my name is Vega Goose, saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next step of the gaming journey.